What's going on? It's been a while. Sitting outside in the park right now. A park. Just got a lot on my mind, man. Going through conscious changes. So, trying to get this barrier up out my spirit, man. I don't know what's up with me. It's like I can't express myself. And it's not healthy. And that's not me. That's not natural. That's not what nature intended for us. For me or for anyone else. So here goes nothing. Some shit that's been on my mind more often, pretty much every day. You know, if you don't know by now that this world is completely, well, no, not the world, but the conditions of the human species is just complete slavery, and it's covert slavery, and it's so fine-tuned and intricately woven into the majority of the populace. The majority of the population's minds, and because of this, we have these conditions on this planet where, you know, the natural resources such as food, you know, nature, anything that comes in nature that we can manipulate and use to better our lives is essentially owned by a small group of psychopaths who really don't like anything that's good or true or virtuous. We're in such a state of mental just de-evolution that people are just unconscious. It seems as though, I mean, I'm in the park out here. I walked a lap around here. I don't know how long it is, but if you I look at people's eyes and you look at their heads and their body language, they're just destroyed souls, destroyed beings. And we accept this shit, which is what kills me, because I'm out here, you know, I'm trying to heal myself so I can begin to even take a stab at what's going on in the world and how to actually change it. But I'm looking at everybody else like, yo, what the fuck? This isn't a one-man job. If anyone ever told you that, if religion told you that, if someone told you that Jesus, Buddha, Mithra, Zeus, I don't know, any of them. If anyone ever told you that, if you were ever told that, you know, something or someone else is gonna come fix this shit, fix our spirit, they were lying to you. Hard. They were more than lying. They were coercing you into becoming a obedient slave for their benefit, for their sick, egoic, evil benefit. And I wish people would stop calling it a conspiracy theory. You know, not too long ago, one of my friend's parents, one of my friend's mothers was talking to me, asked me if I vote, and I said no. No, there's no purpose. It's two sides of the same coin, and she didn't really understand that, and I wasn't in the mood to really explain the whole thing, which is on me. That's my fault. But she tried to explain to me, you know, how voting is gonna help create freedom. And if you haven't noticed, these government and these guys, first off, they don't care about us, and they're not working for us. The world, Earth provides an abundance of resources to be used for everyone, if done efficiently and correctly. But we don't do that. We've been coerced into this hierarchy, and for over the past thousands of years, that's how we've existed on this planet, on this prison. And we've created a prison a prison-like existence because of our own weak forms of conscience, our unawareness and our willful ignorance of reality, and our, believing in things that don't exist, and not having the courage to stand up and do what needs to be done. And that's essentially everything in a nutshell. We human beings, I don't have any sources for any of this shit right now. I will at some point. This is off just straight up knowledge that I've accumulated over the years. Human beings are essentially the offspring of other beings that came to this planet and did a little dirty science project because they wanted us to be slaves to them. And this is why we do it to ourselves, because the same group, whatever you want to call them, these royal elite, they're the offspring, direct bloodline. You can check, you can look all this up. They're the direct lineage of those beings that came to this planet and created us. Well, they're the hybrid. The beings came here, mated with the female Homo erectus way back in the day, and now boom, you have us. And from what I've read about that other extraterrestrial group of beings, is on their planet they had all this hierarchy and government and society and structure and class and race and all this bullshit that isn't real, which is why we do it to ourselves, because we're a damaged species. That's how we act. Now that's a choice. We don't have to act that way. That's a choice. We do have free will, because at the core of it, we're all souls, and we have our conscience. Whether we use that or not is up to us. And reality, whatever you may call that, reality is the sum of everyone's conscience and the sum of everyone's free will choices put together. So we're co-creators with the divine, or the universe, or God, if you want to call it that. But yeah, that's in a nutshell. That's what's going on here. And what kills me is that when I bring this shit up to people, they don't want to hear it. They want to deny it so hard. I tried telling a friend of mine the other day that Christianity is based on sun worship from the ancient past, and that's what pretty much every single religion is based on, especially the Jesus story, or the salvationist story. That's all sun worship. The sun rises on the cross. It's really a constellation. You can look this all up. I'm not fucking. You're gonna have to look this shit up for yourself. I'm gonna do a lot more hard work on this, so I'll have my links and everything. It'll be more organized. Right now, I'm just talking. I gotta heal myself. I gotta get this shit out, and the best way to heal is to express. There is no other way. You have to take off your barriers and express truth. That's what you gotta do. That's how to heal. There is no other way to truly heal yourself or anyone else. So yeah, man, some thoughts. Now back to this little conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy. These guys, whatever you want to call them, who are out here, they're royalty. First off, they're all related. They interbreed. They mate with each other in terms of their own offspring. So brother and sister mate to keep their bloodline intact, because this is what this type of wild shit that they believe in. This is how they keep their power. And they see us as just resources to be used for their own gain and to create their form of dark existence. You might have heard the term New World, or the phrase New World Order. That's what they want. They want total enslavement. And what's happening, everything that you see like on social media and the news with any type of movement, like this Black Lives Matter nonsense and this LGBT nonsense, and anything that has to do with any type of rights or government or politics, it's all a crock of shit. And it's just to get people to do the job that these knuckleheads in power want done. That's what that's all about. And it's that simple. And the only way that we're ever going to change anything on this planet is to completely understand I mean, okay, not completely, objectively, remember that word. We have to objectively understand who we are, what we are, and we have to know truth. That's what it comes down to. You have to know what is true and what is real, and that will lead us to morality, which is just knowing the difference between right and wrong, definitively. And that's how we have to act before we can create any change. Because the real problem, and I'm gonna leave this, I could go on, but I'm gonna leave this one here for now. The real problem isn't the lack of knowledge. There's been plenty of people in the past, great minds, who have come up with technological advances that could easily make this world a paradise. I mean, you got Tesla, we got, Einstein. I'll stick with Tesla. So for example, long story short, this dude pretty much had a plan to create free energy for the whole entire planet. So imagine that. Imagine having free energy, electricity, everywhere. I mean, these are actual possibilities. And this would require no greenhouse gas emissions, no destruction of nature. Now obviously this would free the world so that these types of things didn't happen, but this is just one example that I wanted to throw out there, because there's plenty of knowledge and intellect out there. There's lots of intellect, but the problem is we don't have true intelligence. Now, intelligence is intellect plus care. Now I'll give the Latin description in another video, but we don't care. That's what it comes down to. And real care, true honest care, like 100% authentic care, you know when you're in the presence of true care. Like when you listen to me talk, or you watch my videos, maybe not all my recent ones, but as I continue on, you should be able to sense and feel that I give a shit. And it should be obvious. If you get around me, you will feel different. I can assure you of that. So I'm not out here bullshitting people. Like I give a shit. I do care. There's always a saying, when people say, I don't care, man. I don't care, man. Fuck that. I don't give a damn. Well, no, I'm doing this shit. I make these videos, and I'm still walking on this earth because I do care. And that's ultimately what it's going to have to come down to, is people have to fire up their emotions again. You have to get in your spirit, and because the emotions, your spirit is essentially, well, we say that this, what is this fucking saying? It's the spirit in which you do things. Those are your emotions. So your emotions are the spirit in which you do things. And pretty much everywhere I go with all the experiences in my life right now, people are just, they're suppressing how they truly feel, which is what causes everything wrong in the world. And it prevents right action from being taken. So it's not that we don't know how to fix these things. It's actually it's not a complex process to fix the problems at hand. I mean, some are going to be more intricate. Obviously, the more intricate manipulation of the mind is going to have to be dealt with in a more therapeutic sense. But it all comes down to just care. If you start to give a damn and fucking summon some willpower again, if we all do that as individuals, and then we could do that collectively as a species, we would get somewhere. But we don't do that. That's the crux right now. Is people, I think people are more aware than what they portray. We just don't care about it, so we don't talk about it. So if you don't take nothing else from this video, care. You gotta summon your emotions again. You just have to care. That's really all it comes down to start the process of healing, because people do not give a shit. And I could go on and on about, and I will go on and on about these things that take place, but unloading the whole tapestry of information is necessary. We have to know what's going on and care about it to act on it correctly. But the main crux is that we don't have true care. We don't have true love for anything anymore. Very few of us do. Very few. And that's what has to change. So I'm gonna leave it at that. If you enjoy these things, these videos, or I don't like asking people to do shit, but you know, subscribe, like, and comment and all that jazz. It does help me get. It helps my message grow faster, and I feel as though my message is, well, it's not really my message. Let me take that back. It's the message. So if you want the message to spread, subscribe, like, comment, you know, share my videos, and interact with me. So yeah, man, just my thoughts. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.